Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Crowdpurr Weekly Trivia Show. My name is Philip Trickey. I am your host, as always. Every week, we publish new games here at Crowdpurr, which is the #1 trivia hosting platform on the web. And we publish those new games, and you can play those games with your audience, with your friends, with your family. I think last week I had some people play them for their dogs. Just try that again. Those dogs know their trivia. I hope everybody had a wonderful week. I know that I did. I want to get into something just a little bit right now. This is not an advice podcast, of course, but I just want to give a little bit of advice to everybody. This weekend, the Cincinnati Reds achieved a new level of ineptitude in that they pitched a combined no-hitter against the Pittsburgh Pirates, and they still managed to lose the game. It's only the 6th time in Major League Baseball history that that's happened. So I just want you to remember.
Let's go Reds.
Yeah, let's go Reds. If you are ever feeling bad about yourself or you think, like, I'm never going to be able to accomplish anything, just remember that the Reds pitched a no-hitter and they still lost. So there's hope for everybody. And my hope this week is that your batting average is going to skyrocket when you play our fun trivia game. So what do you say? Let's play. Some fun events happening in the world this week. The movie that everyone has been waiting patiently for a little over 2 years, Top Gun Maverick, is going to come out this week. So I've got a fun game about Tom Cruise. Downton Abbey is going to get crushed in the box office this weekend by Top Gun, but we also have a fun game about Downton Abbey. And today is National Barbecue Day, so stick around and see if we've got some questions about barbecue. Starting off this week, we are going to bring you another in our Everything Bagel series, which is our fun general trivia. So here we go with Everything Bagel. Question 1. What consumer electronics retailer was once known as Sound of Music? Was it A, Best Buy, B, Good Guys, C, Radio Shack, or D, Circuit City? A, Best Buy, B, Good Guys, C, Radio Shack, or D, Circuit City? The retailer that used to be known as Sound of Music was A, Best Buy. They were started in the 60s in St. Paul, Minnesota, changed their name to Best Buy after they added VCRs and home appliances to their retail outlets. Can't really play music on a dishwasher. I guess you can, maybe. Some percussion, probably. Anyway, question 2, still from Everything Bagel. The United States, Liberia, and blank are the only countries that have not officially converted to the metric system. Is it A, Ghana, B, Myanmar, C, Philippines, or D, Uruguay? A, Ghana, B, Myanmar, C, Philippines, or D, Uruguay? And the answer is B, Myanmar. It's joined the upstanding countries of the United States and Liberia in saying, you know what, we're good on that. Let's do standard measurements and all of these things that you have to have all sorts of charts and graphs and calculators and everything for conversions, because that's probably the most convenient way to do it. All right, question 3. It's coming from our Superstitions and Old Wives' Tales game. This is fun games about old wives' tales, superstitions from all over the world. Question 3. What common household item, when given as a gift, is said to bring bad luck? Is it A, a broom, B, a candle, C, a chair, or D, a knife? A, broom, B, candle, C, chair, or D, knife? The answer, don't give this as a gift because it'll be bad luck for everybody, is D, a knife. I guess the superstition says that a knife is supposed to represent a severing of the relationship between the giver and the recipient. But if you get a knife as a gift, just give that person a penny and you've technically bought the knife, and there won't be any more bad luck. especially if you found that penny on the ground and it was heads up. You got that good luck, bring in more good luck. No more knives. Question 4, still from Superstitions and Old Wives' Tales. What breakfast food should be rubbed on the skin and then buried in the backyard as means of wart removal, according to one old wives' tale? Is it A, eggs, B, bacon, C, toast, or D, pancakes? A, eggs, B, bacon, C, toast, or D, pancakes? The answer is B, bacon. You get a wart on your hand, just rub some bacon on it, and then you got to bury that bacon in the backyard. Just, super convenient. A lot more convenient than going to the store and buying some Compound W. Question 5. This is a fun game called Unusual Origins in Business. These are businesses that started out in weird ways, maybe manufacturing things that they aren't known for, all sorts of stuff like that. Question 5. What popular brand of instant cake mix bears the name of a traveling salesman and restaurant critic from the 1930s? Is it A, Betty Crocker, B, Duff Goldman, C, Sara Lee, or D, Duncan Hines? A, Betty Crocker, B, Duff Goldman, C, Sara Lee, or D, Duncan Hines? The answer is D, Duncan Hines. He was not a cook. He was a restaurant critic and a traveling salesman. And they made a killing off of using his name to sell some cakes. I love Duncan Hines cake. Strawberry cake with vanilla frosting. Love it. Question 6, still from Unusual Origins in Business. What multinational hotel chain has humble roots as an A&W root beer franchise in Washington, D.C. in 1927? Was it A, Marriott, B, Hilton, C, Four Seasons, or D, Hyatt? A, Marriott, B, Hilton, C, Four Seasons, or D, Hyatt? The answer is A, the Marriott. The Marriott hotels started out as an A&W root beer franchise in 1927. I wonder if you can get A&W root beer at every Marriott. You should. It should be like, instead of the Gideon Bible, you just open up your bedside table. There's some A&W root beer in there for you. Question 7. We've got, coming up at the end of this week, in addition to Top Gun and Downton Abbey, Friday, May 20th is Endangered Species Day. So we've got a game this week all about endangered species and extinct species as well. So question 7 is coming from that game. Who portrays American conservationist Dian Fossey in the 1988 film Gorillas in the Mist? Is it A, Demi Moore, B, Meryl Streep, C, Sigourney Weaver, or D, Susan Sarandon? A, Demi Moore, B, Meryl Streep, C, Sigourney Weaver, or D, Susan Sarandon? The answer, Dian Fossey in the 1988 film Gorillas in the Mist, is played by C, Sigourney Weaver. And sadly, I believe this is one of Sigourney Weaver's only Oscar nominations. I think this and Working Girl, the only 2 movies that she was ever nominated for an Oscar for. Which is sad, because she's one of the greatest actresses that we've ever had. Question 8, still from Endangered Species. Which of these is not one of the 5 remaining species of rhinoceros left in the world? Is it A, Javan, B, Northern White, C, Southern White, or D, Sumatran? A, Javan, B, Northern White, C, Southern White, or D, Sumatran? The answer is B, Northern White. There are no more Northern White rhinos in the world. The last one died in 2018. And that's, I'm not going to bring anybody down anymore with that. So we're moving on to the next category, which is Downton Abbey. If you ever really want to irritate people, we call it Downtown Abbey. Real fans of the show love that. Question 9. What American actress plays Robert Crawley's wife, Cora? Is it A, Ali Sheedy, B, Elizabeth McGovern, C. Kerry Russell, or D. Sean Young? A. Ali Sheedy, B. Elizabeth McGovern, C. Kerry Russell, or D. Sean Young? And the answer is B. Elizabeth McGovern plays Cora Crawley, according to this, because I've never seen the show, and this is how I get my information, is from this computer. But apparently she's probably pretty good. But we'll see. Maybe I'll start watching Downton Abbey this week. Question 10, still from Downton Abbey. What actress did not reprise her television role for either of the Downton Abbey films? Was it A. Dame Maggie Smith, B. Joanne Froggatt, C. Lily James, or D. Michelle Dockery? A. Dame Maggie Smith, B. Joanne Froggatt, C. Lily James, or D. Michelle Dockery? And the answer is C. Lily James did not reprise her role in the films. I guess she was too busy playing Pamela Anderson and Pam and Tommy, which is quite the departure from Downton Abbey, I'm sure. But like I said, I haven't seen it, so maybe those two shows have a lot more in common than I thought. Yesterday was NFL Hall of Famer running back Emmitt Smith's birthday, so we put up a nice, fun Dallas Cowboys trivia game this week in honor of Emmitt Smith, and, you know, just in honor of the Dallas Cowboys, a.k.a. America's team, as they say. So question 11, which of these teams is not one of the Cowboys' NFC East division rivals? Is it A, Washington Commanders, B, New York Giants, C, Philadelphia Eagles, or D, Detroit Lions? A, Washington Commanders, B, New York Giants, C, Philadelphia Eagles, or D, Detroit Lions? The answer, these guys are not in the NFC East, is D, the Detroit Lions. They are in the NFC North. And weird, I still do not understand why the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas, Texas are in the NFC East. But, you know, I'm sure they have their reasoning. Question 12, still from Dallas Cowboys. What was the name of the Dallas Cowboys home stadium from 1971 to 2008, known for its distinctive hole in the roof? Was it A, Texas Stadium, B, Star Stadium, C, Cowboys Stadium, or D, Schaefer Stadium? A, Texas Stadium, B, Star Stadium, C, Cowboys Stadium, or D, Schaefer Stadium? The answer, there was a hole in the roof so God could watch his favorite team play, was A, Texas Stadium. We took a Texas history vacation when I was 12, and we went to Texas Stadium. Got to stand on the star in the middle of the field. That was my dad's favorite part of the whole trip. Question 13, one more in honor of the birthday boy Emmitt Smith from Dallas Cowboys. What television network was home to the reality series Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders, making the team for 16 seasons? Was it A, TNN, B, CMT, C, TBS, or D, TLC? A, TNN, B, CMT, C, TBS, or D, TLC? The answer, for 16 seasons, you could watch them try out for Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders on B, CMT, Country Music Television. You know, because the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders are exactly what you think of when you think of country music. And also this week, like I said, Top Gun Maverick is finally coming out, so we've got a fun game featuring Mr. Legend of Film himself, Tom Cruise. Question 14. What is the name of Brian Flanagan's bar celebrating its grand opening at the end of 1988's Cocktail? Is it A, Flanny's, B, Flair and Fantasy, C, Star Bar, or D, Cocktails and Dreams? A, Flanny's, B, Flair and Fantasy, C, Star Bar, or D, Cocktails and Dreams? The answer, flipping those bottles and making all your dreams come true. D, Cocktails and Dreams. I used to watch that movie pretty regularly. I worked in the bar industry for 25 years, and you couldn't work in the industry that long and not have been subjected to a cocktail many times. And finally, question 14, still from Tom Cruise. Question 15, I'm sorry. What Tom Cruise movie holds the Guinness World Record for longest continuous film shoot with a production length of 400 days? Is it A, Mission Impossible, B, Top Gun, C, Eyes Wide Shut, or D, War of the Worlds? A, Mission Impossible, B, Top Gun, C, Eyes Wide Shut, or D, War of the Worlds? The answer, the longest continuous film shoot in history, was C, Eyes Wide Shut, if you can believe it. That thing started shooting in 1996 and did not wrap until 1998. And I'm pretty sure that's the movie that broke Tom Cruise. And, oh, what's this? It's a bonus question. This week's bonus question is coming to you from our barbecue trivia game. Like I said, today is National Barbecue Day. So here's our bonus question. Which southern state is home to Jones Barbecue Diner, the oldest barbecue restaurant in the U.S.? Is it A, Mississippi, B, Arkansas, C, Oklahoma, or D, Tennessee? A, Mississippi, B, Arkansas, C, Oklahoma, or D, Tennessee? The answer, Jones Barbecue Diner, is in B, Arkansas. Marianna, Arkansas, to be precise. So if you're down in Arkansas, or if you want to go to the oldest barbecue restaurant in the U.S., get yourself on down to Marianna. Have yourself some barbecue. That sounds delicious right now. Well, that's our game for this week. All these, I want to bring something to your attention today, too. We've been teasing it out for a little while, but there are some huge changes happening to the podcast and program this week. We will have all of that information for you on Thursday. You don't have to go to any new station or any new feed or do any of that. We still want you to review us, rate us, tell your friends about us, let everybody know. But stick around. Big thanks to my super producer, Ross. And we will see you on Thursday.